probably prefer to call this reading and vocab building, because you can do the two at the same time. I did mention vocab building earlier. You can be doing that throughout now after Christmas. Okay, all you would need again is Caboodle, as already mentioned. The AQA website is free and excellent to get resources from that, of course, will be, well, they will be, for example, in past exam papers. It's just perfect. If you would like an alternative, BBC Bite Size does seem to hit the mark quite well, and you don't have to pay for any of these. So how would you approach your reading revision then? Well, a little bit differently to the writing and speaking that I've been talking about so far. So for the most immediate feedback and some GCSE practice activities for reading that hit the appropriate level, I would suggest the Caboodle interactive resources. So for this, you will find them in the resources section of the Caboodle website, which I will show you. And they're attached to the digital book, to the actual Caboodle book itself. At the end of each topic, there's a resources section where you can find reading practices, reading activities to do. I target the interactive ones because they're the ones that give immediate feedback. That is not to say to not try the other ones, but the other ones you might need then to check with your teacher and question some things afterwards. The beauty of the interactive ones is you know how you've done straight away and you can repeat them if you need to. Now with these interactive readings that I'm going to show you on Caboodle, at the end of each section there's also a vocabulary section. So that covers the key vocabulary for each mini topic. So with these, I would definitely do some vocab cramming as part of one of your 30-minute sessions. I would try and get those in quite regularly. Just doing a quick activity where you cover up the English and just check that you know the key words. In fact, a good way of doing that and a good time saver is to look over very quickly, see the words that you know already and just highlight the ones that you don't know so that the list doesn't appear so daunting, and then just have a quick sort of read over and look over the ones that you don't know, and then begin to practice the old classic of covering them up and seeing if you still say the meaning of them, looking if you need to, covering them up again, and going through that process to get yourself so that you can read more words on that topic to build your vocabulary up. Okay, and so on to listening and vocab building. Again, the two can be combined, and this is a very similar, if not identical, approach to the reading and vocab building previously mentioned. So I would you could target all of this revision through Caboodle. Students have done this in the past and it's worked perfectly for them. You don't need to move beyond that one resource. Okay, so again, for immediate feedback, you would look in the resources section of Caboodle for interactive listening resources this time, and then again the process is exactly the same. In your 30-minute slot you might be able to do, say, 2 listening interactive activities for which you can get immediate feedback. Now again, you can of course do, and you probably will recognise from class, some of the listening activities that aren't interactive, that don't have the answers there. They're really useful as well. The more you can tune your ear in and the more you can listen to the language, the stronger and more confident you'll become. It'll just be that thing again where you might be like have that nagging thought where you're not sure if you've gotten an answer right at the end of it, or you're not sure about something you've understood. What I would say for that is use your teacher. Go and ask your teacher. So that's not to mean that you wouldn't do any interactive listening resources. I would just target the interactive ones first, because they give you the best and most immediate feedback. But to be honest, all of the listening is really useful exam practice. It's perfect for it. Okay, now vocab building and listening. Now with this, again, at the end of each section, there's actually a spoken vocab list. So you've probably done this in lessons, but this is ideal vocab building for home. What you do with this is simply listen to the person say the word in the target language so you can get used to the sound, and then practice calling out the English translation before the person does on the recording. And you can do that as many times as you want and get as fast as you want with it. You can't do it too much. The more you're practicing that, the stronger you'll be with your vocabulary. But I would very much include a vocabulary building through these vocab lists within your listening practice. Okay, so to conclude then, this suggested revision course or revision method, it really does need to start, as soon as possible, because the more you get into this routine, the stronger you will become. But at the very latest, if you're a year 11, I'd be starting this from the moment this is finished, from this moment onwards, okay? So we begin by building up confidence. So if you remember, that was using the alphabet as a memory hook, and then building up from those 30 or so verbs into sentences with opinions, and then adding connectives onto that. And then hopefully in your year 11 approach, this can be applied though to year 9 or year 10 equally, as you're getting into December, you can then start to add the finishing touches to this foundation knowledge, if you like. And what I mean by that is learning a couple, or as many actually as you feel comfortable doing, 5, 6, 7 or so if you could, but certainly a couple of the high-scoring phrases that you'll find mentioned in the booklets that I was talking about earlier. All of the information's in them. And then you'll be ready after Christmas to really target GCSE style revision. And then if you remember, I talked about the different resources, but pointed out that it can all actually be done through Caboodle. So you could just narrow it down to one resource that the school have already got for you. And then you target reading, writing, speaking, listening in rotation, as I've already explained. And if you've forgotten or need clarification on some of the detail with that, it is all explained in the booklet, or you could rewind and catch how you practice each skill on this recording again. So thank you for your time. Hopefully that was useful, and you're all ready now to get on with your confidence building and then targeted revision in December. Okay, thank you very much.